the one that hit theaters.
No, I think that all of us DC directors tossed that out just as much as the fans did. But also I felt that version contradicted my first movie in many ways, and this current movie, which I was already in production on. So then what are you going to do? I was like, you would have to play ball in both directions in order for that to work. So the only thing I've done and tried to always do is when I knew when Zack was doing Justice League, sort of where she ends up. And so I always tried, like, I didn't change her suit because I never want to contradict. I don't want to contradict his films, Sure. But yet I have to have my own films, and he's been very supportive of that. And so I think that that Justice League was kind of an outlier, because I don't know, they were trying to turn one thing into kind of another. Then it becomes like, I don't recognize half these characters. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, it must have been strange to see a character who you helped envision and bring to life. Well, I don't know if you even saw it, but it was unusual. Yeah,
it was hard. It was hard.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the SnyderVerse. So I've been telling you for such a long time that the Zack Snyder's Justice League, the SnyderVerse, is going to continue going forward, and we've got concurrent evidence to suggest that I was right about this. So, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos at the 100,000 subscribe mark. I will be giving away something that is so darn cool. So make sure to check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and Instagram at Warstu. So I have literally just opened up the membership function on the YouTube channel. So from 99p, you can help support the channel. You don't have to, it's just there. A few people asked me, so I thought I'd do it. So Wonder Woman 1984 comes out this coming Wednesday, and the director, Paddy, had something very interesting to say about the Zack Snyderverse and where her movie chronologically fits in the continuity of the DCEU. So in an interview with the YouTube channel and website Cinema Bland, Paddy said the following, that her movie doesn't fit inside the Justice League Sweden cut, and she says it doesn't make sense, it contradicts her movie. So essentially she is saying Wonder Woman 1984 connects to the Zack Snyder Justice League, and thus for it's in the SnyderVerse. Hence why I keep saying Zack Snyder's not done. I know you could say 1984, it's in 1984, it's in the 80s, but this is a movie coming out post Justice League, and it's set in the SnyderVerse continuity. She also went on to say that all the other DC directors threw it out just like the fans threw it out. So that is a very interesting tidbit that Paddy's been saying on the press junket for Wonder Woman 1984. That is very interesting, because she's pretty much saying, I don't want anything to do with you. And it's interesting how AT&T's investigation has recently been done with Joss Whedon, and it seems like he's out of DC, at least for now. So it is going to be very interesting going forward to see what is going to happen with the SnyderVerse, because like I keep saying here on the YouTube channel, guys, if you think it is one movie and it's just, the Snyder cut, it's one movie and we're not getting part 2 and part 3, then you've been sleeping too much. So what was interesting is you hear in the clip I played before this video started is the actual interview with Paddy, and she says that these characters don't even make sense. They weren't the characters that she made. So she basically elaborated without going into too much detail, saying that her Wonder Woman in the Sweden cut wasn't her Wonder Woman, which is very interesting. So it seems like a lot of the fans are just hating on the Joss Whedon cut, where actually now it seems like the DC directors, including Paddy, didn't like it at all. She didn't elaborate whether she watched it all. She just said it was very hard to, implying very hard to watch, thus for confirming that her continuity for Wonder Woman 1984, which comes out this Wednesday in the UK and then 25th on HBO Max, is more in line with her vision of Wonder Woman. She went as far to say that she didn't change the costume. She wanted to respect what Zack did, because obviously Zack essentially casted her for the role, I guess you could say, and he was pinnacle to the first Wonder Woman movie. And he is an EP for the second Wonder Woman movie, but I don't know if he's actually got much to do with it. So that is a massive tidbit when I say the SnyderVerse is still here, because you got to think about it. We get to the Flash movie, Ben Affleck Batman, the whole alcoholic ruined his life, and all this story that I'm going to keep saying because all you big trades kept saying that, and it was a fabrication. It's the SnyderVerse still. So the SnyderVerse is here. It's staying here. And then post-Flash, we most likely will get this HBO Max Ben Affleck HBO Max series that everyone keeps trolling me and saying it doesn't exist when I know it exists. It is there. But also, she did have some tidbits about Wonder Woman 3, which is interesting, but we do know it's going to be some time before we even get anywhere near a Wonder Woman 3. So she has revealed some tidbits for the plot. So Wonder Woman 1984, Paddy rethinking Wonder Woman 3 plot in light of recent world events. So the actual tidbit from Cinema Blend was this. I actually came up with a story, and Jeff Johns and I beat it out an entire story for Wonder Woman 3 that we were super fine about and fired up about, but I never felt this way before as much as I do now. The filmmaker explains, I don't think I'm doing it next, and so I sort of have to wait and see where we are in the world. It's interesting. What I wanted to talk about in this film was very persistent to what I was feeling and what you were feeling and what was coming. So now I'm not so sure. So much has changed in the world. I still love the story that we came up with, Paddy said. I'm sure that parts of it would come over to it, but I'm trying to say, don't decide, don't fall in love with anything. See what would Wonder Woman do now? What are you craving for Wonder Woman to do in the world? So she did say it will be like a massive time before Wonder Woman 3, because she's obviously doing other projects and she wants a bit of a break before she gets to Wonder Woman 3, which is very interesting. And then of course you always get the tidbits in the story. That story came out that Batman, Batfleck, Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill Superman want to be, they want them in Wonder Woman 3, which would be cool. But the source isn't very credible. So essentially, like the information says this. However, the movie isn't set to release until December 2023, meaning Gal Gadot's third solo outing as Diana Prince is a long way off yet. Paddy has already hinted that she knows exactly what the plot is. She did, although insider Daniel, like I say, there's not much credibility here. Daniel Rickman is now claiming that she wants Batman and Superman along for the ride, which is cool. I mean, if you get Batman and Superman in, that guarantees higher numbers, guarantees more people are gonna be in it, more people are gonna want to watch it. So yeah, it does make sense, but Twitter tidbits here and there doesn't really make much sense. Like, why are Batman and Superman going to be in there? Wonder Woman is a demigod. What? I mean, obviously Superman's basically a god, but he's not a god. He's a Kryptonian god, and Batman can basically take anyone out. But that's really a tidbit. Like, that's just a throwaway comment that anyone can make up on Twitter. But if you got a bit of Twitter clout, then you can actually come out and say that. So it is interesting. I'm really looking forward to going and watching see Wonder Woman 84 later this week. So let me know, is the SnyderVerse real? Because presumably Wonder Woman 3 will be taking place in the current day, and I don't think it's going to be Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne. It's going to be Ben Affleck Batman Bruce Wayne. So the SnyderVerse is pretty much real, and we know that Joe Manganiello Deathstroke and obviously Zack Snyder are working on future projects. What could these future projects be? The SnyderVerse, Justice League 2, potentially HBO Max series with Deathstroke, Jared Leto, Joker, and of course Ben Affleck Batman. So like always guys, let me know, what do you think of Paddy's recent information? Obviously we know she's working on a Star Wars movie that's coming out in 2023, so it's unclear when she would actually be available to work on Wonder Woman 3, but it is very interesting that these tidbits, that the SnyderVerse is actually real and it's still here. Wonder Woman 1984 continuity is in line with the SnyderVerse, and you could argue it's because it's set in the 80s, but that's kind of irrelevant because it's released after. So like always guys, please like, subscribe and comment, and if you could become a member of the channel for 99p, that would very much help the channel, help support the channel, and help me know that some of you guys love the channel. So like always, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, Twitter WarstuG, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.